Next stop, 10th Avenue East and East Roanoke Street. Next stop.
Going your help with is really just picking comparative 7 properties to the ones we have on Rent Vision, and pulling similar data together if we can. Like, what did we spend on Meta advertising? What did we spend on Google PPC? I don't really care about any other tertiary
Next stop.
spend.
East York Street and Broadway East.
And then I'm going to need to lean on you a little bit to understand, like, what performance metrics do you want to compare them to? You know, like, is it cost per lead? Is it number of, you know, conversions? So quality of leads? Is it, I don't know, is it number of clicks? So then another interesting thought I had is that when you look at the Rent Vision list, we obviously started some of those properties at different points. And it makes me wonder if we have before Rent Vision data to compare with after Rent Vision data. So did we add bricks at a certain point, and what were we doing before that, and did they perform better or worse? Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to validate with some kind of data that Rent Vision is worth the spend, basically. Because the argument, our
Next stop.
position
Broadway
is
East
that,
and East Republican Street, Capitol Hill Branch
you know,
Library.
let's say, you know, we were spending a certain amount on staffing before. We're lowering headcount, but then we're adding actually technically more dollars to bring on Rent Vision. So we're not paying less, we're paying more, and we're basically needing to say, look, like, this isn't even a one-for-one trade-out because we're saying we're going to get higher performance. Now, you and I know that there's a lot of other factors, right? There's an enhanced website, there's the video component, which we think is very valuable. You know, there's the predictive component, but it's more the predictive component that I'm interested in. Is like, is there, you know, is that alone? If that was to stand alone, would it be a better performance than we have been able to do in-house ourselves? So you're basically you're basically proving out, yes, Rent Vision does a better job than me in ad campaigns. So that's kind of part of what I'm interested in exploring. I mean, I for sure think that the other items do stand alone to a certain extent. It's like, hey, we're getting some, and I'm not even sure that the websites are necessarily better. I think to Jen's point, like, some of our websites are kind of nice and they're fun and they're attractive, and so I think we're actually losing some aesthetics by going with Rent Vision. But we're gaining functionality. In what, you know, is arguably a more complete and effective layout. So,
Next stop. Broadway and East Denny Road, Capitol Hill Station.
yeah, and maybe it doesn't. I mean, maybe the data said it doesn't, and we have to make the decision based on other factors. Maybe, I mean, you might start looking into it and say, gosh, I don't really know if there's a clear differentiation, you know. and that's even worth something to a certain extent.
stop. East Front Street, Seattle Central College.
Sure. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. I mean, Stephanie